I saw on Instagram that day 26 is going out on tour. If you know, you know. And I thought about texting my ex-best friend being like, so like, can we get over our problems so that we can go see day 26? Stay tuned to see if I actually do that. Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Girl, What's Going On? I'm Kristianna, and I am here to just talk about my thoughts. Let's get into it. So firstly, I am trying out another potential angle for me to do this. I don't think it's sustainable though, honestly, because I'm like on this couch. I am like turning my body so that I can still be like in the center of the frame, you know? And I don't know. I like the way that it looks visually. I just don't know if this is like a sustainable seat versus like the head on, like having the camera be over here. I'm trying something different because I kind of like that you can see my fun little wall. You can also see this one too. I don't know. I live at Barbie's dream house, if you didn't know. Everything is pink or purple and like super girlified. And I love it here. This is, you know, this is my space. I just feel like I'm in my natural habitat when things look as girly as possible. So let's do a little check-in. I have work on the brain. I often do. And I've been thinking a lot about how my working life has really taken some turns over the last like 2 years or so. I think the last 2 years have just been very like up and down and all over the place. And recently like had a like work retreat that I'm still thinking about and like still ruminating over and still like pulling pieces of things that I didn't think about that hard at the time. And now I'm kind of thinking about things. It's a weird space to be. I had an interesting conversation with I guess you would call it like a supervisor. That's just like not language that we use in my org, but she's my supervisor. And she broke up with me yesterday. She's leaving our department and she's going to go on to do other really great things, but she won't be like in charge of my work anymore. And I've been thinking about the conversation ever since it happened, and thinking about how far my relationship with her has come. Like we've really built what is a friendship, even though she like has a little bit more power than me in the space, right? And I really appreciate the growth and the grace that we have been able to have for each other. And like I'm gonna really miss her, but also like it's interesting. I just keep thinking of this sounds so deep for no reason, but Frank Ocean's Blonde album, one of my favorite songs, Godspeed. He's like, I let go of my claim on you. It's a free world. And I just keep like thinking about that as I'm like moving forward, because, you know, I think I do have like a super possessive personality. I do. I have a super possessive like personality. And when I claim somebody as like my friend or like my person or whatever it is, I want to like keep them to myself. And I think I got to that kind of point with this person. The idea that they're gonna like move on from me and like be with other people doing other work and whatever is bumming me out. But I also know that like that is actually what is for the best for that person. You know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, when you love people, you gotta let them go. That's how I'm coping with this. And I don't know, we'll see what the future holds. For me, I can feel so much of like how I've matured since I came to this team. Now I'm in a position where there are like quite a few people who have come after me, feeling like I have to be like, not have to be, but like actually feeling like I am like an example of what is possible in the space. I came with a lot of like innovative ideas, and I've really kind of been able to turn my department like upside down in a lot of positive ways, and it's really exciting. I think I'm in just like a really exciting period with my like 9 to 5 life. That I don't know, I'm just like feeling really good. I'm feeling really grateful, and also, like I said, really sad. I struggle with change. I hate it. I don't adjust well to it, but here I am. I think I'm handling it with grace. Very recently, I was catching up with a friend, and she was kind of just like giving me a flavor of her like current roster. And like some dates and things that she has been going on, and she's super excited about it, and I'm like super excited for her about the thing, like about all the things. And she was like asking about me, and I had to kind of break it to her like, listen, the roster has been cleared off for a while. There is no like romantic thing happening in my life, and actually that's been the case for a while now. But I don't think about it. Like it's not keeping me up at night, to be clear. It is not keeping me up at night, but it is something interesting. And like, I kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit because although we won't spend a ton of time like centering men on this channel, sometimes we will talk about them in all the ways. And I wanted to really talk about today how it really is these damn phones. You ever hear the people be like, it's those damn phones for like every little thing? Actually, I was thinking about this, and it really is these damn phones, because I feel like, the misogyny just generally used to be quieter. And because of these phones, it's so loud. It's so loud and hard to ignore. I think it's really weird, right? Because to be clear, I am not in the camp of like all men. Like, I don't think I'm in like an all men camp for certain, because in my real life off of the internet, I have met some really amazing men. I know some really amazing men. A lot of them have spouses already, and maybe that's it. Maybe the women change them or whatever. But but also, I know some men in real life who take to the internet like can't nobody see them, and they like spew all kinds of garbage that they wouldn't actually say in real life. And I've been seeing so much of that lately. Family members or people like I used to work with. A lot of this stuff is happening on Facebook. Facebook is where the uncles and aunties go to like be their freest, worst selves for the most part. And I've been noticing more and more lately that on these sorts of platforms, the men that I actually do know in real life are getting on there and being absolutely gross. And it's like weird, because it's like, we can see you, and just because like people aren't necessarily responding to what you're saying, because I think they think they're like in private or something. like there's one person I'm thinking of in particular where the stuff that he says, I'm like, we can see you. We like I said, when I see the stuff, I don't interact with his content, but I'm just like, the way that like I'll post something and he'll be like all over it, heart eyes or whatever it is. I'm like, maybe he thinks that like when he posts and when he's saying like the really gross and disgusting things, that like I probably didn't see it. I don't know. Or maybe just like don't care, but I'm just like, this is getting weird. And then it's like I go to some other like social media platforms, mostly TikTok, and I will see discussions of women talking about their experiences, bad dates, like dates gone wrong. Like that one man, he was begging the girl to get under the table with him, and they were in the middle of a restaurant or whatever. Like, disgusting. or people whose whole content is doing reactions to stuff that is like gone wrong or gone bad, people telling their stories, or like people recording situations, like women who get cake thrown in their faces at their weddings, like whatever it is. Sometimes like I'll see this stuff and I'm just like, my God, like it is like, I'm not seeking this content out, but it is everywhere. And then you'll have some people who actually use TikTok as like a diary, and that's even worse. I'm like, you cannot escape it. And really what I've realized is that like these spaces, in the ways that people are using them to be super misogynistic and gross, it has actually turned me off has turned me all the way off, where I have gotten to a point where I really do not engage with the opposite sex unless it is a platonic situation or a working situation, or like I'm not engaging with men romantically like intentionally, because a lot of them have started to disgust me. Yeah, I think that's actually what's happening. And you know, there is like a difference between like choosing to opt out and actually giving up. And I feel like I'm like somewhere in the middle. Because my thing is, if I like was out at a bar or something and like somebody came up to me and like wanted to chit chat and I thought they were cute or whatever, I would allow it. I would allow it, but I am not interested right now to the like it like I don't know, like I'm not on the apps, for example. Like the person that was engaging me about like my dating life right now, they were like, why aren't you online? And the truth of the matter is, one, y'all be forgetting that I live in Philly. Okay, people be forgetting like I'm in Philly. Okay, there's nothing out there. The dating pool in Philly has all kinds of boo-boo caca in it. Okay, not good. Not to mention, like, I bring this up every freaking time. Like, literally, the Philadelphia Inquirer, a couple years ago came out with this whole article around Valentine's Day that was like, if you're like trying to find love in the city, you might as well go ahead and hang that thing up because it's not gonna happen for you. And it was like all these stats and statistics and whatever in it. And I remember reading it and thinking like, whoa, this is wild. But also the fact that y'all went and got like real stats to support the position, crazy work. And I just think that like for somebody like me who spends a ton of time online, I am chronically online, for better or worse. Like I said, when I see the way that a lot of men are behaving on the interwebs, on the internet, I don't love it. And it makes me disinterested. I'm so sorry. I'm just like on another planet for now. At the same time, I still love love. I love love. Like, I love reading about love. I love like talking about love. I love music. You know what I mean? Like, I love. Just that, like I said, they disgust me. All right, I'm gonna move on. So today I think I just want to talk about internet stuff. Like, I was just talking about being on the internet. Now I want to talk about more internet stuff, but I really do. One thing, can I just say this little thing though? One thing that kind of grinds my gears is the laziness people have nowadays around context. Like, I will be scrolling, I will run into a video, and mind you, there is a certain cadence to the way that you make a short form video that's gonna like be able to keep people around and keep them engaged in the content and potentially have them watch to the end. There is a formula for that. And that's what you see a lot. And I might like be scrolling and then see someone who's like talking about a particular thing, and the way that they've chosen to do the videos that they just like jump right in and they're just talking. And while I can jump in and like kind of very quickly gather the context, gather the clues or whatever it might be talking about. I might see in the search bar that there's more information that I could click on to go see maybe what that person is even talking about in the first place. And like I will do the work if I'm interested, right? Like if I'm interested in what the person is talking about and I think it's like some interesting juicy gossip thing that I'm like, oh, I want to be involved in this, or maybe it's more serious and they're talking about a specific moment in history or in time that I have no idea about, or what, I'm willing to do the work, okay, put in the hours however long it takes to be able to get down to the bottom of what's being talked about if I'm interested. And also, not for nothing, the formula that people use to jump into conversation midway through and talk about a thing also helps to keep people who are outside of that bubble out. Right. And so like when I am like looking through the comments, because, you know, reading the comments is the best part of like being on the internet. And I'll see people be like, you need to add context when you talk about things. OK, please, a crumb of context, da 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 da. You guys never add context. And it's like, yo, do the work. Do the work. Like people are like, oh, I work. I don't have time to find then scroll. This video was not for you. That's how I feel about it. I'm so sorry. If you're not willing to put in a couple of minutes to get down to the bottom of what's going on, then maybe the conversation was not meant for you. Like it's on your For You page, but maybe it wasn't actually for you. That's all I'm saying. The robots are taking over the world. We know already. Okay. I am very, can I say like open about some level of AI, right? I don't like shame people about it because it really is everywhere. It's like kind of getting a little bit annoying, if I'm being honest, the way that like, even when you go like on Microsoft Word or whatever, like it's being built into like everything. Like everybody wants a little bit of AI in their thing. Like I use Notion to keep my stuff together, you know what I mean? And like Notion has like an AI thing now. Like it is everywhere. I get it. But I'm realizing now that we're really getting into the thick of things that I do actually have my limitations on how much AI is too much AI. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that I had limitations. And until kind of like last night, I was scrolling and this woman was talking about how she is like a music artist and she like puts so much work into what she does because that's what she loves. And there's like a bunch of different like AI artists that are on Spotify and they're like getting tons of numbers and all this stuff. And like she just feels really frustrated about it. And she was talking about one in particular named Sienna Rose. And I was like, oh, what's that? And so like I looked in the search bar and somebody had already, you know, it was there. So I went to see this page, Sienna Rose, not a lot of followers, but the videos that she did have up, there were like thousands of views. And so like I went to just check it out. And really these videos look so real. It was like you really had to be paying attention. You really, really had to be paying attention to realize that this person is not a real person. This is an AI like bot account. But also that, if I'm being honest, there was something about those videos that made my stomach curl. Actually, like made me feel actually sick to my stomach. There was something about the way that she really wasn't. It was something in my spirit wasn't sitting well, and maybe because my spirit knows that she ain't got no spirit. maybe that's actually what it is. My spirit is tapping into the fact that this person that I'm watching on my phone has no spirit because it's an AI thing. And people were like zooming in and the comments were like screenshots of like the different abnormalities of the video, whether her hair just was like weird because she was a black woman. I should say that also weird. Apparently her voice is used across different AI bots and that this particular artist used to be white at one point and then they decided to like rebrand her as black. And you know, I've been seeing like Timberland has an AI artist that he's making money from. Back in the day, we had not back in the day, but like a few years back, we had Michaela, who was like an internet AI influencer. Like, I'm not unfamiliar, but I've never been so bothered. I am bothered by this. It was creepy. It was creepy. Okay. Like, I don't want to like beat this dead horse, you know what I mean? But I was unwell looking at these videos, and she's just like doing whatever, like, you know, playing. Maybe she was like getting ready. Like, some of the videos look like get ready with me's. Some of them she's just kind of like looking. Some of them she's singing her music, and the way that they did the sound, it's like she's singing a cappella, but they like put words in front of her mouth, so you can kind of not tell as much that the mouth movement isn't matching up with the words. It was weird. It was creepy. I didn't love it. And I am slowly but surely, in this new AI world that we're in, recognizing my personal limitations with what I'm okay with. And that I was not okay with. And then it had me just wondering, like, how much AI music am I personally consuming? You know, like, who knows? Like, who knows? Because they're not really being that forthcoming about it, because they don't have to, because we don't have really much regulation on AI right now. So it is the Wild West. You could be unknowingly, and I said to my cousin, I sent the videos to my cousin, and I'm like, look at this. Like, it really got me wondering, like, how many people have I interacted with on TikTok that are not real people? You know what I mean? Like, you could probably be sitting up here listening to a story time with somebody who is not a real person, has never lived. We're in a new, and this is a new frontier. I think the last thing I kind of want to get into a little bit here is around tendernism. I've been had thoughts about this situation. Okay, so if you don't know what tendernism is, or like who that is, right? So there was this smokehouse barbecue place where there was like these videos that were coming up on TikTok of this like older Black gentleman who would take these like big pieces of meat, and basically he's showing you like how tender the meat is, that it just like falls off the bone, you know. And you know, over time, people just started calling him tendernism. And basically Keith Lee, who is like a food critic, went to like check out the food. But the thing about him is like he kind of like shows up unannounced. He doesn't make a big deal that he is who he is, so that he can get like a real authentic experience. You know what I mean? Because one thing for sure, and we know this like watching influencers, is like whenever a company knows that they're dealing with an influencer, they usually, for whatever reason, I'm thinking about hair right now. I'm thinking about hair. So many like hair influencers, wig influencers, when they're like working with a brand, they agree to work with them, and then they get sent whatever products to review. And a lot of times it's like the best of the, you know what I mean? Because they are an influencer, and the company knows that they're going to be graded by this person, and that good grades will land them tons and tons of customers, right? And what usually happens is, not usually, but what often happens is that people who believe in this influencer, who follow this person and trust recommendations, might go to that same company and try to get some of this nice hair that they just like saw their favorite person using and like enjoying and whatever. They order, they get their hair, and it's not even the same quality, like not even the same quality by far as the hair that was sent to the influencer. This kind of thing is like, you know, it's pretty common. And really, so like somebody like a Keith Lee, right? He, like I said, he's a food critic. He's like going to places, not saying who he is, so that he can be treated like anybody else. I dig it a lot. And through a lot of his journey doing this, he's been able to pull the curtain back on a lot of businesses in the process. But he's not messy, to be clear. Like, I don't see him as like being a messy person. He's just kind of going about his business, and then the mess falls out. So basically he went to the smoke I keep calling it a smoke shop, but I keep wanting to call it a smoke shop. Like, he went to like this little steakhouse or whatever, gets food, and it's okay. He didn't say it was horrible. He didn't say it was bad. He just was like, this is all right. Like, he had some notes. And the owner, who we all thought this man, we thought this whole time that the restaurant was owned by Tendernism, and it turned out it wasn't. It was owned by this random white guy, and basically the white guy got mad and like decided he was gonna do a like response video to Keith Lee, and in the video he had Tendernism like sitting next to him, and the optics of that was not good. The optics of that kind of gave like slavery weird vibes. And a lot of us were really disappointed to learn through all of this mess that Tendernism wasn't the owner of the restaurant. We all thought this was a Black-owned restaurant, and it was not. But the real thing for me, right, is that Black people really are the curators of cool. Like, we often decide for the general public, the masses, okay? We usually are the ones that decide what's going to be cool, what's going to be hip, what's popping, you know what I mean? And a lot of it is like just a natural inclination that we have towards, I don't know, we make stuff pop. We really do. And in this case, people were interested in the restaurant because they were interested in Unc, okay, and like the way that he was approaching the content and stuff like that. And even though they try to be like, he's like he has some stake in the restaurant or whatever, it was very clear that that's not what's going on. Like, they were like, oh, he's in charge of marketing or something. So it was crap, and it was so bad. And next thing you know, we seeing videos that Unc is he's going back to Jamaica or something. Like, I think it was Jamaica that he's like going back home or whatever. And it just was reminding me, like, my cousin just returned my edition of the 48 Laws of Power. I haven't actually finished this book, but I have done a fair share of combing, and I have like notes in it and thoughts and that I've written, sticky notes throughout. But the one thing that like comes up, I think a couple times in this book, right, is like, never outshine the master. Really, I feel like that's what happened here, because Tendernism became a puppet, a mascot of this restaurant. And then when all of it's said and done, right, and we're finding out like, oh, like, not only are y'all sore losers because you're out here trying to make response videos to like giving out subpar food or whatever, this is not a Black-owned business like we thought. Like, we thought one thing, it was not the thing, and y'all are salty about it. It's not great. I am really curious though, because I watched this other video where they were kind of explaining the history of like how the like steak shops, I keep calling it why do I keep calling it all these different names? I don't know. But like, why the steakhouse, or how it became what it is. I'm not editing this, okay? I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm not editing it. It used to be a coffee shop, is what it, which is what's really interesting. And Tendernism started suggesting like, hey, I like make this really awesome meat or whatever, like maybe we could sell some out of this coffee shop. And so like the white guy, sorry, I'm not even gonna learn his name, I'm just not, who I guess he inherited the coffee shop or whatever, like decided to go ahead and turn it into a steakhouse. And but like Tendernism is actually the backbone of how the restaurant became what it is. And that's the other thing that's like kind of upsetting me and my homegirls, is that you wouldn't have what you have if it wasn't for Tendernism. You wouldn't. And then the girls were saying like that the white guy went to a lawyer, and the lawyer like trademarked the name tendernism. Mind you, after this whole fiasco, nobody's gonna buy anything unless it's from Unc directly. You know what I mean? Nobody's buying anything unless we know it's directly from Unc. Oh, and that's the other thing. Okay, so the other thing that was interesting about this, or not interesting, but like I just wanted to like respond to, I think. So a lot of people were feeling like if Mr. Tendernism wanted to be used in this way, whatever happens is on him. I hear that as a response. I don't agree with that. I think that there are lots of ways that people can be taken advantage of, and I think that he was, right? But also, like, you know, it is really hard to even get capital for a restaurant in the first place. And this idea that, like, you know, he basically came into a collaboration of situations here with the owner of the restaurant, and came as like a real partner and like a real help to really revive whatever the heck that was beforehand, the coffee shop or whatever, like really make it something. And then now he's like kind of being pushed to the side because the owner doesn't feel like he needs him anymore or whatever. Like I just don't think we should be hard on Unc. Like, I don't like it. Like, people are being really hard on him. And I think he just, like, saw an opportunity to make something shake and did that. You know what I mean? I don't know if it would have been that easy for him to have just gotten his own thing. Because, you know, people are, like, I think really hypocritical at times. And they're like, why don't you just make your own thing? You want to be a part of this? You want to be a part of that? You should just make your own thing. Having your own stuff is easier said than done. But ultimately, this whole situation is just another situation where like the blueprint is wanted, but that the builder of the blueprint is disposable. I hate it. I don't like it. I'm looking at the camera and seeing how long I've been talking, and we actually do have a little bit more time. And so I was thinking I could give a little tea on me and where I'm at. I like had some therapy today. Love that for me. I think she thought I was gonna run away from her. I haven't seen my therapist in like a month or something, maybe a month and a half, I think. And that's really just because I got really, really busy. And I knew that, though. I knew I wasn't going to be able to see her until the new year, but I think she thought I was running away from her. I would never do that. I really enjoy my therapist, and I love that she's a Black lady, and like I can talk to her about all kinds of things that, you know, you can't talk to everybody about. I feel like this is also a season that I'm really going to need her. Like, I have a lot of things moving and shaking in my life. I also think it's funny, I'm like thinking about the things I forgot to say to her today. I am thinking about it. Like, for example, and I, you know, whatever, we're up here telling all my business. I don't care. My estranged family, I am a black sheep on both sides of my family. I should start there. I am a black sheep on both sides of my family. But on one side of my family, they are having a birthday party for one of the elders of my family, right? And I haven't been in community with these people in ages, right? And so for me, I'm like, oh, that's nice, a party. And then I get the invitation. I was invited, so okay, cool. But then they want like 50 bones to attend this gathering. And I'm thinking to myself, like, am I gonna pay 50 bones to see somebody who I haven't been in community with in like almost 2 decades? Like, is that what type of time I'm on? Or maybe it's been a decade and a half. No, it's been like almost 2. How old am I? Listen, how old am I? Yo, being over 30 is like actually being able to say 2 decades with your chest. Yo, it's getting weird. I'm 34, by the way. Okay. But yeah, it's been like a decade and a half since I was disrespected by the person in question. And so like for me, I'm like, am I gonna be the kind of person who looks the other direction just this once or whatever, so that I can just like be in community with people, because I'm thinking about also, like I said, that we're talking about like elders in my family, and I'm like, okay, if the flip side of me, like if I decide to continue to hold my ground and like I said what I said and I'm gonna hold my boundaries and be all this, I think I also have to be okay with people passing away and me like never having seen them, like, or whatever, you know. That's rough. That's rough. And I think it's interesting just like being a grown-up lady now, and that it really is up to me to make these sorts of decisions about my life and like who's going to be in them, like in my life, who's going to be a part of my life. Yeah, it's a weird time navigating now my mid-30s. Navigating my mid-30s, I think will most certainly be a journey. But as you can see, I'm super open to talking about all of it. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I said what I said. But anyway, this is my life. This is my life. These are the things that have been on my mind lately, and I'm glad that we could talk about it together. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off and catch you guys in the next video. If you have something that you would love for me to discuss, I'm all ears, really. I'm just jotting down things like as it happens to my little like notes app in my phone, and then I'm just getting up here and running my mouth. That's the formula. So like I want to be able to talk about things that are more serious, you know what I mean, and talking about the world around us, but I also just kind of want to run my mouth about things that I'm seeing online and on the internet and things that I love and that I'm enjoying. You know, there's no secret sauce here. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.